Hey everybody, it's Kim Hawk and I'm known as YouTube's fairy godmother of real estate, and welcome back. We are actually on number 5 of a 6-part series explaining why we think that Walt Disney's legacy is larger even though all the amazing theme parks that he created. This week we're going to talk about the similarities between Liberty Square and the town of Orlando. We can't wait for you to be staying tuned and watch all this exciting video.
Epcot will take its cue from the new ideas and new technologies that are now emerging from the creative centers of American industry. It will be a community of tomorrow that will never be completed, but will always be introducing and testing and demonstrating new materials and new systems. And Epcot will always be a showcase to the world for the ingenuity and imagination of American free enterprise. I don't believe there's a challenge anywhere in the world that's more important to people everywhere than finding solutions to the problems of our cities. But where do we begin? How do we start answering this great challenge? Well, we're convinced we must start with the public need. And the need is not just for curing the old ills of old cities. We think the need is for starting from scratch on virgin land and building a special kind of new community. So that's what Epcot is, an experimental prototype community that will always be in a state of becoming. It will never cease to be a living blueprint of the future, where people actually live a life they can't find anywhere else in the world.
We are in beautiful downtown Orlando at 𝐏𝐿𝐴, and we're getting ready to show you just how spectacular it is. We've seen some beautiful couples riding their bikes around this lake. It is about 0.9 miles, and they have a farmer's market on Sundays. You're going to see some swans as well. There's a Publix right here in downtown Orlando, and you know what that means. It means people live here. It's so amazing, and they are able to enjoy the lake. And where else would you want to live when you can be able to go to wonderful concerts, sporting events, and you can also go to the grocery store in order to make your meal. So anyway, downtown Orlando, it's really great. It's got a lot going on. So what do we really know about Orlando? Well, we specifically asked that question because it's an interesting story. It wasn't until 1850 that the town got its name. And there's actually about 5 stories on who named the city. Well, I'm going to share the one that I like the most. It's the most romantic of them all. There was a judge, and his name was James G. Spear. And he was very cultured, and he loved to read Shakespeare. Well, after he read As You Like It, there were 2 characters in there. One's name is, can you guess? Orlando. And the other character was Rosalind. Rosalind is actually the street that's right behind us right now. And the storyline is, it was love at first sight. And that's what happens when you come to Orlando. That's why there's so many people that come around the world. They get to Orlando and they make it their home. But then you start thinking about, gosh, maybe there's not a lot of natives. Well, it's true. You don't meet a lot of them. But I'm happy to tell you that our daughter, Ashley Elizabeth Hawk, she was born at the Arnold Palmer Hospital, was actually called Winnie, and because he named a hospital after his wife. She was born in downtown Orlando. She loves it here, and she doesn't want to move anyplace else. And it was Jacob Summerlin back in 1883 that decided to donate the land that is behind us now to create 𝐏𝐿𝐴 Park. And he had one requirement. It needed to be a public park. And what a beautiful public park it is. In 2016, the Walt Disney Amphitheater, which is in downtown Orlando, the band shell was painted the colors of the rainbow. And it's in memory of the beautiful 49 lives that were lost during the Pulse nightmare. So I was able to experience people lined up around the block, donating blood, and this town really came together. But it's definitely something that we don't want to forget so that it never happens again.
My God, it's beautiful. The lake, the ducks, the swan, all the beautiful amenities Florida has to offer, especially Orlando. And I wouldn't trade for any other city in the world.
Well, thank you so much for letting us be able to say hello to Minnie as well. She looks like she's ready for the sun with her sunglasses.
Yeah, she is.
I love it. Thank you, Howard.
Thank you.
So on Sundays, downtown Orlando has a farmer's market. And I understand there's at least 50 different purveyors. So we thought we would just go and shoot some of the different booths that are here.
We're very passionate about clean baking, which means no artificial flavors of any kind. We don't use any processed sugars, and all our ingredients are organic, and our flours are stone grounded flour, which means all the nutrients stay within the flour.
Talk about a small world. I'm here with our YouTube producer, and he and his wife got married in Curitiba. I'm probably slaughtering that, in Brazil. And here we are in downtown Orlando, and it talks about it being one of Orlando's sister cities.
I just really love the culture and the vibe of downtown Orlando, and I also work down here, so I have no commute, which makes it amazing. And I'm super close to many bars and restaurants and Lake Eola, so I will never have to find something to do. There will always be something fun to do. There's also scooters that you can rent, and so you can just scoot your way over to a show. Right across the street, we have the Abbey and the Florida Theatrical Association, and then 2 blocks away, we have the Dr. Phillips Center. So if you're wanting to experience any arts and culture, downtown Orlando is a perfect place for you.
And talk about exciting. I'm standing right here in front of the Exploria Stadium. Soccer is on fire in Orlando. I can remember when World Cup came to Church Street Station about 30 years ago. We didn't have soccer then, but guess what? Now we do. We've got Orlando City, the men's group, and we have Orlando Pride, the women's team, and they are so much fun, so much fun. We have lots of other sporting teams that are around here, but make sure you check out soccer right here in downtown Orlando. Hey, look at this gorgeous building, the Amway Center. Oh, as you can imagine, everything from sporting events to music events. In this building, you would also see World Wrestling. They also have the Orlando Predators, an indoor football. And then obviously we love our NBA Orlando Magic team. You can see the signs on the building from the Orlando Magic. There is a science center, an art museum, so there's not much that you can be saying that Orlando doesn't have, because what they do have is really the best of the best. So we're standing in front of City Hall in downtown Orlando, and I have a lot of great memories of this place. And so I had the honor of working with Mayor Glenda Hood. I would come to her meetings every week, and she would talk about her vision for what she had for downtown Orlando. And one of the things in particular, she wanted to have a Dr. Phillips Performing Arts Center. She was very specific about music and culture and everything. And so what are we seeing here?
Yeah, we're in front of the Dr. Phillips Performance Center right here across the street from us. And, you know, I like to personally stay plugged into what's going on. I'd love to come over here and see some of the performances. They got such a diverse list of what they put on. It's just an incredible lifestyle to be able to just walk into this kind of entertainment, this kind of backdrop, and these kinds of restaurants and hubs for shopping.
Elijah was mentioning something about the original City Hall. There's a story behind it, right?
Lethal Weapon 3, they were doing a demolition of the original City Hall, and you know, the filmmakers decided, hey, you know, don't let a good explosion go to waste, so they asked if they could use that as a backdrop for some of the action scenes in there. You'll see that some of the explosions in this downtown City Hall demolition are part of cinematic history.
Yes, yes. And Elijah, believe it or not, I was here that day when they did that implosion.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Background.
I didn't get explode. Yeah, that's right.
Oops. Right, oops.
From the city beautiful, Orlando, Florida, welcome to Church Street Station.
So we're here at the famous Church Street Station area of Orlando, and I have had some of my best experiences in my entire life right here because I was part of the Good Time Gang. I was in charge of the marketing department, and we had lots and lots of fun here. But let me tell you a couple of stories. Bob Snow is the one that's really responsible for bringing Orlando back to life. Around that time, the train station area was dilapidated. The first thing that he did was called Rosie O'Grady's. And so that was a jazz area where they had can girls and live entertainment, and it became a hit. Well, from that point, he ended up adding the Cheyenne Saloon, which is country music at its best. There were concerts where even Garth Brooks was an opening act for Tammy Wynette. So nobody knew who Garth Brooks was at the time, and gosh, he's a huge star now, right? Another element was the orchid garden that he created. The orchid garden had beautiful stained glass, winding staircases, and I'm proud to say that my husband and I got married in the orchid garden ballroom. Bob Snow really loved planes, trains, and automobiles. Now, what do I mean by that? He had beautiful antique cars with Church Street Station logos on there, and he also had hot air balloon rides. And he would have a plane and have banners flying over the town of Orlando. So thank you, Bob Snow. I'm so glad that we had mayors like Glenda Hood and also Buddy Dyer, who have had a vision and have made Orlando one of the best destinations in all of the United States of America. And in the early 1990s, I had the privilege of being the president of the Downtown Orlando Partnership. And so what I witnessed was in this area, you had a lot of attorneys and architects, accountants, creative people, bar owners, retailers, and they would all come together for the good of downtown Orlando. And because of all of that work, of all those volunteers, you now see a bustling and wonderful downtown Orlando. This building was not there when I was working at Church Street Station, but it's called 55 West, and you'll see a high rise. So in this area, once again, we're going to be able to help you if you're looking for a condo and you want to be able to just walk to downtown, because look, everything is right here. Let's talk about what else is going on with Orlando. You know, our Orlando International Airport is now the 7th busiest airport in the world, and the new section, the C area, is coming this summer. So who knows, we may even be 5th or 4th before you know it next year. And then you're going to add Brightline is coming to this area. Brightline is expected to start having people go from Miami to Orlando to the international airport as early as January of 2023. We can't wait. They've got a lot going on here in Orlando. It is the city beautiful.
I am at Thornton Park right now. We're just a few blocks away from Lake Eola, which is super fun. Here in Thornton Park, there's all kinds of little cool communal flourishes. Great place to ride your bike. I've got this fun designed fountain behind me. As you can see, this street is dripping with personality. Lots of colors and artisan murals and fun little shops to poke into as well. As you go down this street here at Washington Street, it's a real cool community to just be plugged into. Another super cool hub here in Thornton Park is the 808 restaurant and bar, where they got the DJ going. I can kind of hear someone mixing in the background here. 808 is the area code of Hawaii. And so when you walk in, you'll see some little quirks about the menu, like there's tuna, poke, a lot of those kinds of specialties. And when you're in there, say hi to Corbin and Peter for us. I'm standing in front of 34 North Higher Avenue right now. A cool townhouse that gives you 3-story living, quick, cool, oversized hangout space on the first floor, living room and kitchen on the second floor, and the bedrooms upstairs. So this one's got 2 owner suites, no HOA. So you don't have to worry about some of those extra fees if that's a concern for you. We just know that it's right here in the action in downtown Orlando.
So, as we're at the top of this rooftop bar over at the AC Hotel in downtown Orlando, it's pretty spectacular, but what you're also going to find is you find some really cool people that are hanging out here.
Orlando is a very diverse situation here. The culture, what you get here is like none other. I think it's just a wonderful place to raise a family, to come out and relax and enjoy, and just get a good vibe, you know?
But you would say definitely Orlando's the place to be, right?
I've been a lot of places, traveled and seen a lot of things, and I think Orlando, it is the key, it is the ticket. Absolutely.
So what do we know about Orlando? Well, we started out this morning with the historic, beautiful Church Street Station area. And we're ending it here tonight in this amazing, look at this Jetson-like hotel called the AC Hotel off of Garland, where you can see the rooftops of the Amway Center. You can see the highway structure now that's unbelievable. And we can also see Camping World. So thank you for joining us. Please, if you have any real estate needs, please make sure that you contact somebody on my dream team and get ready. We've got another video right behind us because we want to tell you more about Near Disney. So part 6 of the 6-part series on Walt Disney's legacy, it's going to be on the comparison when you look at the parallel between Fantasyland and Disney's Golden Oak and Windermere. Can't wait. A lot of great stuff coming your way. Make sure that you subscribe and like so that we can continue to give you up-to-date information on all things that are going around the 25-mile radius of Cinderella's castle, because this is truly a magical place to live.